But here's an interesting example. So the prosecutor in that jurisdiction said, well, I'm going to present the facts and the law to a grand jury and let the grand jury decide whether this goes to trial. Normally, a grand jury is a completely one-sided affair because the prosecutor is not obliged to share evidence of innocence with the grand jury. They're only obliged to share evidence of guilt. And if we ever only hear one side of a story, it sounds pretty compelling, right? So normally a grand jury only hears from the prosecutor. They only hear the prosecutor's side. So they return an indictment, guaranteed. What this prosecutor did was say, you know what, grand jury, I'm going to show you all the evidence. The evidence consistent with guilt and the evidence consistent with innocence. All of it, which he doesn't have to do. The grand jury looked at all that evidence and they refused to indict that police officer. You know what happened next? That prosecutor, who had been the prosecutor in that jurisdiction for more than 30 years, the next time he was up for re-election, George Soros came to town, financed a competitor against him, and that guy lost his career to a George Soros financed candidate. That was done as a lesson to every other prosecutor in the country. If you have a case like this and you present a fair narrative to the grand jury, when we want you to go after that cop, we're going to cost you your career. We're going to come in here, give a competitor $250,000 at your next election, and you're going to lose. So now other prosecutors are looking at this, and what happens when they get a case like this? You think they're going to treat it in a fair way with the grand jury? Or you think they're going to get on board like that police chief and say, well, either I can be destroyed with this police officer or I can join the team destroying him?
There's incentive to basically be unlawful in a lot of these cases. If they become, you really want to avoid getting anything politically motivated.
Yeah.
Like in these self-defense
cases. You want to be off the radar screen.
You don't want anyone to know about your case.
Yep.